Hello everyone. Well, we got another storm coming. We just got through one on Friday. And we got another one coming right up the coast here. Well, it's more like going out to sea, but we're definitely going to get brushed by this thing, and I apologize for the last minute video. I wasn't paying attention, and this kind of creeped up on me out of nowhere, but no matter what, you know I always come through with at least one video at the last minute. So we are looking at the NAM short-range model, since we're only about 12 hours out from this thing or less than that. Looking at the 500 millibar vorticity map, so here is your storm. You can see that it's already pretty much closed off. I mean, look at this piece of vorticity here, this piece of energy. Number one, it is slightly negative tilted, so that means it's going to be going to the northeast rather than straight out to sea. So there is room for this to come right up the coast. Now, why doesn't it do that? And my opinion on why this storm does not come right up the coast is because you have another piece of energy back here which is positively tilted and is moving to the south and east. And I think that this piece of energy is going to work to push this first storm out to sea. And so instead of getting a hardcore snowstorm, which if this came further west, let me tell you, this would be a hell of a storm. But because we have the second piece of energy back here moving in at the same time, this is going to move a little more easterly than northeasterly. And New England, Long Island, New York City are only going to get brushed. So this is this evening. Let's move along. So as you can see, it moves and strengthens as it goes up. But you can see that this second piece of energy is working to push that east. And there's not really, this is all self-explanatory here. That's the main thing I want you to see, how this piece of energy pushes that east. So that's the first system we're dealing with. Now the second system is this piece of energy back in here that will also bring some light snow to New England and parts of the Mid-Atlantic, but I'm not going to focus on that in this video. My focus for this video is this storm here. So we've looked at the vorticity. Let's look at precipitation. Alright, getting a little ahead of myself here. Let's go back. Okay, here we go. And then the other thing I want you to know is look at the precipitation shield on this storm. I mean, the low is, down here across the Carolinas, and the precipitation shield just extends all the way to the north, all the way into New Jersey. Now, that is something. And so let's move along here. This is later this evening. No, this is now, sorry. So as we move along here, you can see this precipitation shield is just massive. And then as the storm starts to come up, you can see that it bumps into the cold air and this rain starts turning to snow. Right now we're at about 3 a.m. Or 4 a.m. if I'm getting that correct, on tomorrow morning. And you can see that the snow has started to, the rain has started to change to snow and spread to southern Lower Hudson Valley, southern New England, including Cape Cod, Boston, Rhode Island. Long Island is turning over to snow, and so is New Jersey. And even eastern Pennsylvania is getting in on this just a little bit. So as we go along here, this thing starts to strengthen. Notice that we go from 984 here. Look at that number. And as it moves to the north and east, 980, and then 979 within 6 hours, which is a pretty sharp drop. So this storm will be strengthening, and I think that's one of the reasons this precip shield does widen. You can see that you have heavy snow across Cape Cod, most of Long Island, and eastern New Jersey here. New York City, I think you miss out on the heaviest snow, I'm sorry to say. But eastern Long Island, I mean, I could even see some of the heavier snow getting into central Long Island, even into maybe Nassau County. But further west than that, I think it's mainly light to moderate snow. Most of Cape Cod is going to get creamed with this, especially with the winds. There will be blizzard conditions across southeastern Massachusetts and Cape Cod. There are blizzard warnings up there. And just look at this heavy snow. Like, my goodness, if some of this came on shore, if this, I swear to God, if this storm was just 50 miles north and west, this would be an immaculate storm to watch. You know, I'm a little mad that this friggin' piece of energy to the west has to push this out. But, that's how weather is. Alright, so now we're at about 10 a.m. Monday morning, and you can see that most of New England is covered. Boston's getting some heavier snow. Cape Cod's getting heavier snow. And looks like the heavier snow is starting to move off of Long Island, but some moderate snow should at least stick around there. And then by tomorrow evening, the second system starts to come into play. As you see, snow starts to spread over all of New England and then towards the Great Lakes as this storm moves out, and then this system comes through and brings more snow. So it's going to be a very cold and snowy couple of days. And one thing I always like to go over when it comes to predicting storms when we're this close is the upward motion field. And I think we're going to squeeze out some heavier snow because there will be some vertical motion here. So I'm just going to go ahead, skip. Just give it a second here. Oh, why am I here? Hold on a second. Alright, so there's the storm down there. Here it is. Here's your low center, and then look at all this upward motion around the storm there. Those reds, yellows, oranges, that's all going to be producing precipitation. And this upward motion, look how far it extends from the storm. That's one of the reasons I think the precipitation field is so widespread. And see, as this thing moves up, that upward motion will spread to the north and west. Now, here's the thing, though. Most of the yellows, oranges, and purples will remain off the coast, but you will get some of the outer portions of these upward motion fields coming on shore. And so I don't think the upward motion will be enough for a very heavy snow, but I think it will be enough. See, you have this strip of green coming in here across Rhode Island, Connecticut, and Long Island here. See some of that upward motion coming in. That is around 7 a.m. in the morning. So you see, this is where I think Long Island hits its peak, probably mid-morning, with the heaviest snow. And then Cape Cod, upward motion will spread to you later in the day as well. Here we go. Look at all this green. And there's even a little bit of yellow in there. So again, not the strongest upward motion does stay off the coast, but hey, you can't ignore this here. This is still upward motion and precipitation. And this is where your heavier snow is going to be, right across Connecticut, right over Rhode Island, Cape Cod. Even Boston's going to get in on this, and Long Island. These are the key areas for this storm. Okay? And then the storm starts to move out. Okay, let's go over an accumulation map very quick. Okay, it's very simple. 6 to 12 inches anywhere across southeastern Massachusetts. I would say the 6 to 12 starts just south of Boston. Sorry. The sixth line is going to be just south of Boston. That's what I think. Once you get south of Boston, you start hitting the 6th line, and then all of Cape Cod, and even southeastern portions of Rhode Island, I could see 6 to 12 inches. In all honesty, right on the Cape, I think you're getting a foot of snow. No questions asked, I think you're getting a foot of snow. And it's going to be very windy given that strong area of low pressure, so you're going to have to watch out for blizzard conditions. Alright, so this red area, watch out, 6 to 12. I really definitely think a foot over Cape Cod. And watch out if the storm comes further west, that could change. Boston, I like the 3 to 6. I think you're closer to the 6 than the 3. So watch out for that. Central Massachusetts, Worcester, all those places, 3 to 6. Southeastern New Hampshire, 3 to 6. Coastal Maine, 3 to 6. Portsmouth, 3 to 6. Providence, 3 to 6 inches. Central and Eastern Connecticut, east of Hartford, 3 to 6. Sorry, Hartford, you are missing out on the 3 to 6. Suffolk County on Long Island, we're going to go 3 to 6. Hartford, we're going to go 1 to 3. Western Massachusetts, the rest of New Hampshire, and central and southern Vermont, we're going to go 1 to 3. Albany, I'd like a coating to an inch for you. Maybe a little more, but not much more than that. Most of the lower Hudson Valley will go 1 to 3. Now, New York City, Nassau County, this is where it gets tricky. I could see more like a 2 to 4 or a 2 to 5. But no more than that. So we'll say 2 to 4 inches for Nassau County and the 5 boroughs of New York City near Long Island. And then most of New Jersey here, we're going to go 1 to 3, except along the coast here, I think you could pick up some of the heavier snow. So we'll go 2 to 4 for you, maybe even 5. So watch out along coastal New Jersey. You could have higher than 1 to 3. I would definitely go with 2 to 4 for you. Okay, that's the forecast. Now, that's the first storm. We'll keep an eye on the second storm for tomorrow. If it warrants an update, I will post a video, but I think that's all going to be on the lighter side. Alright, thanks for watching and stay safe.